It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back in whole. Do we have a treat for you guys today? So we are taking over Master of BlackJack Channel 2 to talk about 90 Day Fiancé the other way. And this is one hell of a season. Guys, if you're over from Master of BlackJack Channel 2, we appreciate you guys. This is awesome. We're going to have a great conversation, and we have a few people chiming in, so I can't wait to do that. We also have a special guest coming from Instagram. I know you guys will all know who she is. Hopefully she can make it. I don't want to tease you too much, just in case I know she has other obligations. We're also going to welcome Jason from Down with Jason. Here we go.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Good.
All right. So, Jason, you haven't been here for a Master of BlackJack takeover before, but when we do it, and Jason and I have actually met Master of BlackJack. So I don't know how much you guys know, whether Master of BlackJack is a boy or a girl or whatever pronoun you want to use. You guys don't know too much, but we've actually sat down with this person. We've had great conversations, and I think we love this person.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Such a sense
100%.
of humor, too, by the way. And you can tell that from the videos. Master of BlackJack goes in on all of the TLC 90-day castmates, really goes in. It's so funny, and also has this kind of funny way of going on Cameo and pairing up 90-day fiancé couples who might be single in the moment. So it's kind of strange. Like Andrew and Liz. Liz is back with Big Ed, but it's strange, but we're here for it. We're
here for it.
She is playing matchmaker. Anyways, Jason, shall we get into it?
Let's get into it. Where are we starting?
All right, guys, we're going to start with this. Make sure to smash that like button, show some love. I think we should start with one of Jason's favorite couples here. You guys might recognize them from this photo, or maybe not. Do you know who that is?
Lord, yes.
All right, so we have Jenny and Sumit. Jenny and Sumit have been on this wild roller coaster of a ride for the longest time, and honestly, we're sick of it. We're sick of it. Just break up already. This relationship is not going to work, and it's a relationship built off of a foundation of lies. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Let's talk about one of those lies, okay? He is making it so hard for anyone to do anything, because we talked about this when we were watching it last night.
Right.
You know, it's okay, maybe your father-in-law or whatever in-laws have your passport. That is a lost or stolen passport. You can go get a new one. It happens in every country. It's not that difficult. And you're sitting here making Jenny go to every Hare Krishna temple, I don't even know, thing to become a devotee, to get some kind of missionary status. And for me, I'm just like, what is he holding back? What is he afraid of at this point?
I think really, there has to be some sort of level of commitment. There has to be commitment issues. There's something not adding up here. By the way, not paid by anyone. We miss you. Oh my God, thought you had good taste because of Adam. LOL. All right, I'm going to drop the StreamYard link in case you guys do want to join in on the conversation, because it's more than just Jason and I who have opinions. But my thing here is, Jason, this man keeps leading her on. She's left the country numerous times, and he keeps saying, when we get married, when we get married. How long are you going to wait, even though they've been in a 10-year relationship, to get married? If they were in the United States, it would be a little bit different because she wouldn't have to go home. But a lot rides on this. If he does not marry her, she is going back to Palm Springs, which really doesn't sound terrible, but that's where she's going.
Well, I mean, I've said it multiple times. It's like if I was Jenny, her age, at that point in my life where I've worked so hard to have all these benefits or whatever she, touts that she has coming in or whatever, I would want to be in Palm Springs. I mean, yeah, maybe you're from there and it's boring, but your daughter is there. Your grandkid is there. I mean, what are you doing over there? It seems like a very silly high school game to me. And now I'm not really sure if they are completely in love. There is some kind of relationship there, and everyone says it's been 10 years, but 10 years of what? 10 Going years back and forth? 10 years of stories? Like, how hard was it just to get your damn passport? That's what I can't understand.
I agree with you. This has been a nonstop back and forth. And when are we finally going to get to the point where Jenny's like, you know what? I can't give you the rest of my life to go through this BS. She is going to, and mind you guys, for those of you who don't know a little bit of our background, Jason and I lived together for a couple of months in Thailand, and we had to exit the country to go to Singapore to just come back into the country, because that's what you do when you're there on a passport. You're only allotted so many days, and then you have to leave. And we only had to do it once or twice, but it does get exhausting. It's an exhausting process. So for her, even though you'll do anything for the person you love, damn it, man. Jenny, what the hell? Go home. Am I too passionate about this?
No, I feel like there's someone else for Jenny. Like something else that Jenny wants. I don't know. Maybe there's not. I don't know. But it's the story is like redundant. Like, dude, do something. Go get your passport, make an effort. I mean, now we're in the pandemic, she can't even leave the country. They were talking about going to Nepal, exiting the country and coming back. Very similar to what you just said about, leaving Thailand to go to Singapore. The options are just fleeting right now. So I think, hopefully this passport thing will work. Maybe they can be on the other 90-day after that. I don't know.
I agree. But let's keep it moving, because guys, we can't sit here and talk about Jenny and Sumit all day, even though I would love to. I want to talk about some bull penis soup. That's what I want to talk about, because one, you'll never catch me. All right. Leslie and Lipsy, that's Evelyn's sister's names. You won't get me with bull penis soup. But this guy, this gullible, lovable American man, he got. He got. They challenged him. And they let him know, we know you're married now, because this face right here, this lovable face, who looks like she just loves her husband, doesn't she look like she loves him right there? Is that a no? Is that a yes?
I don't know. What, she just always seems angry.
She does always look like she's upset, and she might actually not like this man. But guys, for those of you who missed the episode, Evelyn made it known that her and Corey did actually get married. They showed the footage. It looked completely uncomfortable. She looked like she was uncomfortable, and she did it so she could keep him in Ecuador. Now, there are a few secrets looming over his head in their relationship, which in good 90-Day Fiancé fashion, there always is. And there's a Peruvian woman who knows all about it, and I'm sure we'll get to that eventually. But for her sisters, they're not here for Corey. They don't like Corey. They're not liking him anytime soon. And they feel like there's a lot more to the story with the Peruvian woman than he's leading on. Now, the fact that they know that they were actually married when he went over to Peru, even though they were separated in that small amount of time, you still had vows. You still signed that piece of paper, and they're pissed off. They pretty much said, I really want to know the whole story. Now, will they get it, Jason?
No, come on. Right now, I don't like either of them. I don't like Corey. I don't like Evelyn. And the sooner they can just call it a day, the better. I mean, I'm almost feeling like we might have a 90-day kind of like, I don't know, kind of like I think the Peruvian girl's coming in. And I don't know. I'm just getting kind of like a inclination of it, just because there's more to that story, but she hates Corey.
Yeah.
And Corey's at the point where what he did was not right, but he's at the point where like, I got to get out of this, Yeah. So you don't just get married and then have that thought and go maybe sleep with someone else or go have any kind of like affair with someone else. But at the same time, you don't treat someone like shit for that long if you're not willing to forget. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm cussing. But no, if you can't,
no, you can cuss your master of BlackJack. He welcomes.
Oh, okay. But you know what I mean? Like you're going to be treated like shit for the rest of your life. If there's going to be no progress in your relationship and no reconciliation, then I don't know. Did you see photos of Corey like a few years ago? He looked great. And now he looks miserable. He's gained weight. I wouldn't want to live that life, and I wouldn't want to live in a place that's A, foreign to me, but B, having no support. You have these two, like what did I call them last night? Cinderella stepsisters sitting there,
I'm
egging
here
this
for the
on.
Cinderella stepsisters.
Yeah, I mean they're funny. But like they're even calling out Evelyn's bullshit. And if you don't like this guy so much, why the hell did you marry him? Yeah, to keep him in Ecuador, but why would you want to do that? That's a little more permanent than a visa or like a plane ticket,
I agree. Well, we're not the only two who have something to say about both of these relationships. Jenny and Sumit, and also Corey and Evelyn. Let's welcome K1 Visa Rep herself.
I'm back.
How are you?
Hi.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh, good. Busy, but good. Miriam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I went back to the office. Now I'm again 2 weeks from home, and then I go on a vacation. So I'm available during the day these days, which is good.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we welcome you back, and I'm sure you've been watching, so I'm excited to pick your brain a little bit. Do you want to start with Corey and Evelyn?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I think first of all, if we go back to when he lost his father, that should have been enough sign from the universe to him to not to be in this relationship. If I were him, I would resent her for that. And for some reason he doesn't, which amazes me. He was away from his father. Like the last time that he saw his father, we saw that, we witnessed that. And for me, that is heartbreaking, and it's a tragedy in its own. But then again, just to what Jason said right now, you go somewhere, when you move mountains, when you go through oceans to meet someone, is because that person loves you and is supporting you. But he goes there. He always, like she didn't even pick him up from the bus. Remember that? She made him like go find another place. She reprimands him if he doesn't speak the language, as if her English is perfect. You know, she's great in English, but then again, like she's always like, she is definitely the alpha in the relationship, and
Absolutely.
He's very submissive to her. And now, like, she makes fun of him practically. She's always roasting him. And I think that she is going to be a runaway bride. She's just making him spend money. How delusional is that? How delusional is that where they are, and she wants a $50,000 wedding? People in America don't get that. Like,
right.
And I feel like she's doing that on purpose. Like,
I mean, now
really
technically she's married to him technically, and she says it's important for her family values to not get divorced. That is off the table, but I have a feeling that she's not your traditional kind of bride. And I think that even though while she probably appreciates her family's values and traditions, Evelyn is very much so her own woman, because when I see her family, they're all smiling, they're happy, except for right here. I mean, they're kind of happy right here when they're shady, but she does not look happy to me. This woman is not happy.
One more reason to how shady this is. She doesn't want to get married. You just said she's a different type of woman. She's a different type of woman, right? So it doesn't make sense that she wants to get married. And she was extremely uncomfortable. She's not that type, or at least she doesn't want to get married to Corey. I really feel like she is doing this, and it's going to be a great episode when she says no, when she says I don't. She's not saying I do. This is
That's so shitty. You're just waiting for the downfall of this relationship?
I am not waiting.
I'm here for it.
It's written in the stars, man. It feels horrible. Like when I'm shady, it's like, yes, I'm shady. Who are we kidding? But it's like she doesn't want to get married with him. She doesn't. She's doing that because he cheated on her. Like she wanted always to be mistreating him. And when she found out that he cheated on her, like, you know, she's revenge. It's revenge.
Well,
revenge.
And she said, you know, no one down there or in her family at least believes in divorce. I think she's going to be the first divorce in her family. So I think she's maybe,
they're not getting married. They're not getting married.
They're already
married.
They're already married on paper.
I don't know. Sometimes they lie to us on the show. So I
sometimes.
We saw the footage, but they do lie to us on the show. That's true. I want to read the super chat really quick. So great to see Miriam on here again. Thank you. And we love you. Okay, let's go ahead and bring up the next couple. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and let's talk about our next couple, because this is a quirky little couple, Steven and Elena. Thank you, Frauded Media, for sharing this. Hopefully we'll be having her join us soon. But Steven and Elena, they look like they have everything that it would take to be in a happy relationship. They love being affectionate towards each other. They're giving each other kisses. He's a little weird because he's like, oh, I just want to kiss all over your little face. and then jumps in the pool and then doesn't want to sleep there because he feels like there's too much temptation. I don't know. Jason came from a Mormon background. I did not. So I don't necessarily know all of the rules that go with being Mormon, but it looks like this guy's a rule breaker anyways, because he said that he's had a sexual history in the past. So now why all of a sudden when you meet your future bride, when you meet her in a foreign country that's foreign to both of you, are you like, oh no, I got to keep my hands to myself. I can't be with you. I have to go stay at a hostel. Lies. Sorry.
I just find it funny that, you know, there was that moment in the episode where he was talking, not this past episode, but I think one or two back, where he was talking about how he has had sexual relations in the past. And then he said, and some that the church doesn't approve of. I don't know what that means. Like, for me, I don't know what that means, because that has my head spinning. Like, what do you mean? Because in the Mormon church, you have the law of chastity, where you want, you know, your body is a temple and you want to keep it that way until you're married and whatever. But like, I just don't understand sleeping in a hostel where you're going to have other people around anyway. If you're that crazy about sex, he's giving me really, really creepy vibes. And then the creepiest part, which go ahead and live your life, Steven, live your life. But taking a shower, getting ready to go and thinking you want to jump in the pool, like there's something like ticking the wrong way up there. It's like, it's really not.
This poor Steven.
I'm sniffing
Poor
here.
Elena.
I'm sniffing here housewife sense, meaning this is a storyline.
Really?
It doesn't make sense. If he's not a virgin, why would he pick to pretend or behave with the one that supposedly he's going to get married with? You know what I mean? I feel like they have all the components to be together. Maybe this couple, I'm not going to make a prediction about their future, but I feel like, it's for the story only. I think he's doing that, because I'm sure when the cameras are down, there's something is going down, and
Right.
not with Jason, going down with someone else.
I think, honestly, when it comes to Steven and Elena, you know, this situation for her, I feel like she wants more. Listen, I've seen men from Russia. Jason's seen men from, we've all seen men from different countries. There are some hot Russian men. I would go find one of them who's not sitting there trying to read to me at night before I go to bed and give me every excuse in the book to leave me in a foreign country. I would not be here for that. But she is standing her ground. And when he said, can we at least look at the hostel? They take a walk over there and she's like, no. We're not going to look at the hostel. You're not staying there. This is bullshit. This is all garbage. Why would you even bring me here if this is what you're trying to do? I mean, Jason said last night, why doesn't she just lock the door? Lock the door.
Just be in the other. It's not that big of a deal. And the thing is, it's okay. They're also of age where they can be adults and make their own decisions in the same place. But also, you're making this girl come from Russia to stay there by herself.
Yes.
Like, can you imagine, like, even if you and I, say we went to Thailand like we did, and I was like, you know what, you're going to stay here in this house, and I'm going to go stay in the hostel, when, you know, you've only been to, like, Thailand and, like, Mexico, you know? Like, for me, it would be okay. I've traveled to a lot of countries.
Okay, with your sausage. No, but, you know
what I mean, though? Like, she's got to feel uncomfortable, and if you're with someone, you want to feel protected, and it's... I feel so sorry for her.
Really quick, mind you, Jason, you and I are not moms. Miriam is a mom. And if you think about it from a mother's perspective, when she found out for the first time on the way to the airport that her daughter was going to Turkey to potentially live by herself, her mom was like, excuse me? And I would have been the parent who would have been like, you are not getting on that plane. I don't give a shit.
Russian mamas, they don't play either.
No.
They do not play.
I don't know how much. Can you guys hear me, or do you want me to take the AirPods off?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. I feel like what's the age difference between these two? First of all,
Steven,
that I don't know.
I don't actually know. They're both relatively young.
Yeah, I feel like both of them are equally wrong here, because she knew to what she was going to, unless she had a plan to change his mind. But I don't see any trying or enticing him for anything. But I feel like this is really a storyline. I don't know if she's in. I would think she is in it with it. I'm not saying that their relationship is fake, but maybe the theatrics are just so that there is something. Because really, it would be boring if they love each other and they're living in Turkey, right?
Right. They wouldn't have made it.
Talk about.
They wouldn't have made it to cast. I want to bring this up. Nat said that that's LDS culture. Even though he's already had sexual relationships, they always try to put off this wholesome persona. He always wants to get her, or he also wants to get her baptized, so he wants to make sure she is pure. I mean, at this point, from what we know, she's a lot more pure than he is, because she says
exactly
that she has not ever engaged in any sort of intercourse. I just hope, honestly, Steven, if her friend catches you on that little dating app or whatever, or reaches out to you on social media and you end up flirting back, oh, we're coming for you, Steven. We are coming for you. We're not going to be big fans. All right.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the next couple, I'm going to ask you both. I'll start with you, K1 Visa Rep. Do you think this couple will last and make it to holy matrimony? Or do you think that he will just be getting a one-way ticket back to the United States of America?
Just looking from the paper and what they look on TV, I think they will make it, because I don't believe all the drama it's created. I really think that they're into each other and they have everything. Like, they're not a Sumit and Jenny situation, which I need to say something about them. But like, I think they will make it somehow.
Okay.
But I just don't believe this drama. I feel like it's extra. Even if he is really, I know what's his religion. I'm not contesting that. But for me, it sounds very fishy that he chooses to do that on national TV when they're going abroad. Like, both of them are going to live alone. So the natural thing would be to at least put a promise ring on her hand.
I agree.
And live together. Because the whole sanctity of marriage is to protect each other. This is why people embark in that. And it falls through when that doesn't come to fruition. So this is weird. For me, it's like, this is producers telling them, this is what we're going to do. You both are going to go to Turkey. Somehow, I think TLC found Turkey, because Darcy and Stacey are there. I want their doctors, because I might go there.
Oh, they probably had camera crews there already, so they were like, okay, we're going to do that. All right, Jason, what do you think? Do you think they're going to make it or no?
I don't know. I see this lasting for longer than we want it to, if that makes sense. I think we're going to be following them for a long time.
Jason's short and sweet about it. Okay. Walker291952 said, here's another thing. If he believes in his faith is good for 18 hours, but not good for 6 hours overnight. Great point. Great point. We lost K1 Visa Rep for a minute, but when she comes back, we will bring her back up. I want to move on to our next couple, because I'm always rooting for this couple, and I'm sure you guys are too. Guys, before we move on, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button, show some love, and let's bring up Kenneth and Armando. Okay, so thoughts. I'll start with you, Jason. How do you feel about this couple? Because anyone who missed the episode, Kenneth and Armando are taking both of their daughters to go meet up with Armando's family. And the whole goal is here to tell the family, we're still in love. Look how great Hannah's doing. We're moving forward and we are going to have a big wedding. That is the goal of this. But once they get there and the mom plays a trick on him and says, your dad's at the store, even though he comes out and they have a heartfelt moment, he caves and he's like, I didn't want to ruin this moment. I didn't want to tell them that that we are about to have a big wedding. I couldn't do it. And it pissed Kenneth off. Jason, thoughts?
Okay. So I didn't necessarily love them when I first met them. Last season? Last season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I every time they're on the screen now, I'm really enjoying watching their relationship. And I felt like this time, okay, his daughter's in town. He has a lot of stress. He's revealing a lot of hidden emotions to his daughter that, it's hard for him. It's hard for him to be there. And I think it was great to have the daughter to go with them to Armando's family's house. I think it was a great icebreaker. I think it opened up the emotions to Armando's parents. I thought the dad was way more receptive than we've ever seen him before. I think these are steps. These are baby steps. So if Armando is seeing that, oh, this is going kind of well, maybe I'll just shut my mouth for a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that, because what a lot of people don't get in just their own personal situation, when Jason and I first got together, I didn't tell my family anything about what was going on. They still, in their minds, hoped and believed that I was a straight man, which I am not. And I told Jason, if we can last 1 year, then I will tell my family. And he gave me that time. And it was a buildup. It's not the easiest, especially when you're uncomfortable going into that situation, to have those conversations. So Armando, I get that he finally was having a heartfelt moment with his parents. They were accepting of Kenneth and everyone at the table. They're moving forward in the best way that they know how. And he didn't want to spoil that moment. There's a time and place for everything.
But we see the conversation coming up next week, right?
Miriam, there's a little bit of an echo. I'm going to drop you down. Will you call back in?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to bring up another caller too. Like I said earlier, this is her channel, and we love it. If you're not following her, go follow Frauded Media. How are you?
Hi. Oh my God, my background is ridiculous. Oh, I should change that.
I'm in my bedroom, so you're good.
I'm in my studio, which is like half of my studio is where I record, and half of my studio is where I create art. So it's like, yeah.
It looks great. It's fun. It's quirky. It's what we would imagine.
It's what you would imagine for Frauded.
Yes. Yes. By the way, I mean, I can speak on behalf of myself, but when I told Jason that you would be potentially joining us, he's like, "Oh my God, I love her Instagram page." I was like, "Me too. She always has great content."
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Of course. So we're talking about Kenneth and Armando right now, and obviously you watched the episode, right?
This most recent one, I got like halfway through it, so.
Okay.
But I can guess what happens, basically.
Oh. You're like, I'm an expert here. Well, Kenneth and Armando,
watching the show for long enough to know.
Yeah, I feel like you can predict these things at this point. But Kenneth and Armando end up going back to Armando's family's house, where the whole goal was to show them how good Hannah's doing and to share with them that they have big wedding plans. But they have a heartfelt moment where the family's starting to finally accept Kenneth, and Armando drops the ball by not sharing the fact that they're going to actually be getting married and it's going to be a big ceremony. Kenneth was pretty pissed off about this. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
It's hard to say. I'm of two minds with this because one, my automatic instinct is to say that this is a bullshit storyline because that's what everything. I'm sorry, I swear too much.
No, you can swear.
It's a bullshit storyline. Is one school of thought, right? Is that they totally make this up. Like, of course, you know, he had told them privately, but they do this for a storyline. But with Kenneth and Armando, so much of what we see with like their families and stuff seems very genuine to me in a way that I don't see necessarily with other couples and other families. So I almost kind of think that this might be true, and Armando did chicken out. I mean, like, it's a big thing that he's dealing with because his family has just only recently been told about this whole situation. They haven't had years to accept his, you know, sexuality and stuff. It's very difficult. You know, his father, like, didn't even know, and it's been this very difficult situation. Now, I personally have not been in that situation, but I can imagine that sitting down to tell your parents this whole thing is difficult. So he wants to maybe do it in baby steps. But at the same time, I can also see, you know, Kenneth's feelings on it, right? Like, he's like, come on, acknowledge me. Like, I'm a part of you. And if you're not acknowledging me, that's got to be hard for him. So
I agree. You know, we didn't get too much this episode with Kenneth and Armando, but I agree with you. Jason, I think, also agrees.
I mean, especially, you know, I can understand how Kenneth feels too, especially when you've left your whole family behind. Yeah. You know, it's, of course, you're going to be a little more, you know.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I want to bring up the next couple. This couple, obviously, I am rooting for him. I feel like there's something snaky about this man. He's a beautiful man. He's very charismatic. I'm rooting for her, but he comes off so snaky, and I hate a cheater. I am the first person here. Like, if I find out that you're cheating and you're a little snake in the grass, then I'm not trusting you. And for Elly, he cheated on her. Mind you, they lived in two totally different places, but this woman has been through enough.
Right. Well, this was the first week we saw Victor, right? Like this is the first week we saw him. So their storyline is she's going down there, giving up everything for this man who's cheated on her. And not just like he had a drunken one night stand, like he had a whole ass relationship, right?
Yeah.
So like that's problematic, but that's their storyline that they're setting up. So it wouldn't be unusual for TLC to project Victor in such a manner that he seems snaky. We may get later down the line, because these things change over time, we may get down the line him not being snaky. Like, she's level-headed and got her shit together. She's not going to be with someone who's completely snaky.
Well, and Aurelia just said right here, someone on Reddit leaked pics of her back at her Seattle pizza restaurant.
Of course. You guys know my theory on the other way?
Go ahead.
My theory on the other way is with about 90% of the couples, with a few, there are a few exceptions, but about 90% of the couples that are not intending to actually live in this other place, that they do this whole thing as storyline for TLC to have the Other Way show. And I've had that confirmed from cast members. So, I can't say anything beyond that, but I can say that that is not an unlikely scenario. So for her to give up her pizza restaurant, she never said she sold it. She just said she was handing over management.
Right.
Left everybody with the assumption she sold it, but she didn't.
And it pissed everyone off. They were like, girl, what are you doing?
She was just mean there, right?
But my guess is that was entirely storyline because TLC, like, she wasn't intending to actually move back there. Now, the other rumor mill, Aurelia was saying was that they've seen pictures of him with her in the States. I have not been able to independently confirm any of that. I literally just heard that like an hour ago. So, and I was busy, having to do cybersecurity training for a minute there.
You're like, I'm busy over here. Okay. Well, I'm rooting for her. And if that means I'm rooting for them because of her, then I will root for both of them. But the moment that we get word of him being a snake in the grass and cheating again, I'm sending Elly a message. And I'm being like, girl, I'm going to hook you up. I won't use a dating app. I'll do something tasteful. I will find you a friend. But we got to move on. Because this woman, she like breaks my heart a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, she's together. She's got her shit together. Do you really think she's going to be with someone who's not...
Love does crazy shit.
Yeah, but there's so much I'm such a cynic about what's real and what's not real on this show that, especially the other way, because so much of it is we're not intending to actually live there. We're
right. I totally see what you're saying, but then I think about like the loss in her life, and I feel like she might be trying to hold on to anything at this moment. But I totally see your point. I'm really curious to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Well, since we don't have too much about Katrina, or not Katrina, hi Katrina, about Elly and Victor right now. We don't have too much about them. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. I'm going to go back to two couples really quick because this is our first time welcoming Katrina on, and I just have to hear your opinions. Say you're out and you're with your partner, and your partner's family doesn't like you. Jason, if your family ever did this to me, I would lose my shit. And they decide, you know what? I'm going to get Katrina and I'm going to feed her some bull penis soup. And then tell you after they feed you said bull penis soup. Katrina, what is your first reaction?
God, Corey and Evelyn are about as exciting as dull dishwater to me.
I mean, his face says it all.
I can't with them. I can't with them. And then the thing also that always hits me with Corey is I'm always reminded of like back when his father died in real time, when his father passed away. Sad thing, whatever. A bunch of bloggers that I know on Instagram reached out to him, say, hey, is there anything we can do? We're really sorry. Or, heartfelt thing, things that to them. His response was, well, you can support me by going to my OnlyFans or getting a cameo. I don't think he had an OnlyFans then. So you can support me by getting a cameo.
Okay.
Right, you guys are speechless. I mean, he's just that kind of a guy. And
maybe he knew how much that wedding was going to cost.
Oh, okay. That's sham-ass wedding.
Fake. That's all fake.
Yeah. Listen. Evelyn doesn't want to get married in the first place, let alone a $50,000 wedding.
Yeah. No.
They're terrible actors. when Evelyn is sitting on the bed with her sisters and they're talking about all this stuff, and when Corey comes in with a dirty ass prom dress, this like dusty ass thing, like you know, it's just they're so bad. It's like you can almost see Matt Sharp behind them pulling the strings, and you know, it's so bad.
You're like, no, ma'am, we are not taking your dirty ass prom dress. All right. Well, I do want to pick your brain about one more couple, because a lot of people, and I've gotten a lot of backlash over this couple because a lot of people root for them. And I'm over here like, we've been in it for 10 years. We're done with this. He's not going to marry you. Go back to Palm Springs. Katrina, before we go, and thank you again for joining us because we know you're super busy. Jason loves this couple too. Here's a better photo of them. But
did I say I love them? I don't think I said that.
This man who's his life is ran by his ex-father-in-law and his family. What are your thoughts, Katrina?
I fucking hate Sumit and Jenny. There are not enough swear words. Fuck is not a strong enough word to express my dislike of this couple. And there's a variety of reasons why. Some have to do with on-screen, some have to do with off-screen. My conversations with Jenny off-screen. So you I don't know how long you guys have been following me, but you may remember that I was the one that leaked the Sumit was married secret before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was me.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal at TLC because they started shaking down cast members, and I was listening. And of course, they weren't. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But so I leaked that information. Jenny reached out to me and said, she got all bitchy with me about this, and I was like trying to be diplomatic because I'm like, oh hey, what's your side of the story? I'm happy to put up your rebuttal. Like, tell me what your side of the story is. Because I said I think she knows. Now at this point, I don't think she knew, but whatever. So at the time, I was like, okay, just give me your side of the story, and she was like, go away, you sorry person. And then she blocked me, and then her bitch ass daughter came on. And was even worse and started flinging all this trash at me. And I was like, no, give me. I'm like, whatever. People can throw trash at me all they want. I'm used to it. I don't care. Tell me what the rebuttal is. Tell me your side of the story. And she was like, and I don't know. I have screen grabs somewhere of all of this. So whatever. But so that was my interactions with them off screen.
So you sound like a big Jenny and Sumit fan.
Oh yeah.
Jenny, I've heard Jenny be extremely rude to a lot of bloggers before, but I don't. Why is she calling you a sorry person? It's taken her 10 years to even get to where she's at.
I know. I would be talking to the man who catfished you.
Right. Let's start there.
He catfished her. She decided to stick with him anyway. Okay. Then she went up. What was after that? There was something else. And then she went to India, and he was and he pretended that she was like a foreign exchange student, and she lived upstairs, and he went up to go like bang her when his parents went to sleep. Oh, hi, thank you, Marielle. So we have all that, and then then they broke up. You know, they actually weren't talking. She went back to the United States, and they weren't talking. And that was during the time where he gets married. He got married off was during that time. They decide to get back together. She takes him back. Doesn't tell her for 2 years that he's married. 2 years, and brings her over. And this whole time he's telling her he's going to marry her. Every single time. And now he'd rather push her off on Hare Krishna, Hari, that rather than marry her.
Or rather than just go get your damn passport.
I know. And this episode was so funny because there was like, Jenny was like, oh, if only I knew it was this simple.
We still have Google. You can Google how hard is it to get a passport in India. This isn't we have the internet. It's crazy. It's a powerful thing. It's very informative. But
which is also why this storyline screams fake. Now there are rumors that I'm working to confirm. I'm working with some sources to try to confirm, but whether or not they actually have gotten married. So I'm working on that. It's just a rumor at this point. Nothing's confirmed.
I was going to ask if you think that they've got married at this point, because I feel like maybe there is a secret marriage that has happened and they're just not mentioning it.
That would not be unusual. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they have gotten married, because this whole storyline is complete. I mean, it's so it's just so ridiculous that it's just like, come on, TLC, do better. Like, if you're going to give us fake storylines, don't make them about joining Hare Krishna.
Mind you, I'm liking it better than Happily Ever After, though, because Happily Ever After gave me nothing.
Happily Ever After put me to sleep. We literally stopped covering it on the broadcast because we could not get through it.
Do you think that, and before we go, I have a question for you, because this is another family that people love to hate. The Pothouse Family. And they're fighting so hard for their own reality show, like the Family Chantel. And I think that they have what it takes to get one, because Darcy and Stacey, that shit show of a situation, has their second season on a reality show. I can't stomach getting through 10 minutes of it. I hate watching that show. And honestly, the drama with the Pothouse Family, I'm like, oh, okay, you guys might have something. In your opinion, will they ever get a show or no?
Rumor has it they've already gotten it.
Oh,
I told you guys. It's a rumor.
And this is my sources, which are very close to the Pothouse Family, very close. Like, I know some shit about this family that I'm not allowed to reveal yet, because my sources are talking to other sources that they may get paid to reveal this information. So once that happens, then I can. Anyway, I got some sources that say, and this was a while back, that they got their show. Now, my guess would be only on Discovery Plus, but who knows? That would center around the flipping house business that they have that may or may not be legal, right? So, because there are those accusations against them about what they allegedly taking these houses that they don't actually own and renting them out, which is apparently very common in Florida. So I'm not saying they have or haven't done this, because I haven't done that investigative research on that, because
right, you can't confirm.
I'm not a criminal investigator as much as I'd like to be. But I haven't, so I don't know that they've done that or not. I won't say that they have, but they have this house flipping business, right? So rumor has it it's going to center around that and this family. So this last season of Happily Ever After basically centered around that, right? It was all centered around Chuck and the housing and the houses, right? And Becky and Jen and Andre all fighting over, the listings and who gets to bash the refrigerators and the gas stoves and explosions and
shit show.
All of that stuff that it would be a segue into their own show, which rumor has it, like I said, a year ago, I was told that they got it. Darcy and Stacey, the president of TLC, loves Darcy and Stacey. So they have a ton of footage on them. And so them getting their own spinoff was natural, because it was a place to put all their footage where it doesn't fit. I mean, the last seasons of, like, before the 90 days or whatever we had with Darcy were so contrived, and they tried so hard to fit, like, her and Tom into this, like, we're trying to work out our issues, when neither of them gave a shit about each other anymore, but they were forced to do these interactions, right?
Right.
Both of them had moved on. Tom didn't give a shit. Darcy probably gave a shit, because she's still, that's how she is. But Tom was long gone, didn't care. But then they forced him to do this. Of course, he's going to take it, because he likes the TV time and the paycheck that comes with it. But having Darcy and Stacey means they don't have to put all this footage into this box of we're going to marry, or we're going to be happily ever after, or we're together. They can just, on.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Darcy and Stacey, I enjoy watching them, although this season's been very difficult because of it's just, Darcy emoting all over the place about Georgie. But I did enjoy their trip to DC, because it wasn't actually DC. It was Alexandria, Virginia, which is where I live. So.
Oh, I'm from up there.
And what? You live there?
I'm from up there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm from, the DMV area.
Oh, okay. Well, I live in Alexandria, South Alexandria.
Nice.
but I lived up there in Old Town. Like, I'm like, that's my exit. Mary Payne,
gotcha. But
Mary Payne of Pink Shade with Mary Payne and Aaron Gilbert. Aaron Martin and Mary Payne Gilbert. Sorry, MS brain. Mary Payne lives up here too. So she and I were texting each other going, oh, wait, where are they? Where's Georgie's house? Is it over in West Alexandria? Like, we know it's Alexandria because we see the dash bus. So.
Gosh. Well, Katrina, you have been so informative, and there's a lot of information that you're holding over there in that vault. So I appreciate you. Jason appreciates you. And we're streaming right now to Master of BlackJack Channel 2. I'm sure they all appreciate you coming on and sharing because you're such a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, thank you guys. It was so great to finally be
on. Nice to meet you.
Yes, absolutely. And I hope, obviously we cover 90 Day every week. So I'll send you a message at the end of the week and see if we can't steal some, maybe like 10, 15, 30 minutes of your availability next week.
Absolutely. I live in the studio. So
So do we. But thank you so much, Katrina. We'll talk to
bye, you guys.
Bye.
All right, guys, if you're not familiar with Frauded Media, make sure that you go follow her, Katrina, on Instagram. She has almost 100,000 followers. She's always putting out new hilarious content. And honestly, I just sit there and I look at her stuff all day. So go check it out. I'll also attach her to the description of this video. Jason, before we go, can you let us know where we can find you?
Yeah, guys, if you're interested, you can find me at Down with Jason. We cover anything from pop culture, a lot of royal news, and then, of course, reality TV, because it is the gift that keeps on giving. So,
wow, not the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right, guys. And also, if you're coming from Master BlackJack's channel, you can follow me on Up and Adam, where we have daily hot topics and reality TV, of course, Bravo and everything else, TLC. We get into it. We have great interviews, and we're constantly living in this studio just like Katrina, okay? Legit, I'm growing roots. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Show some love. Go follow Katrina and also Jason, and Not Paid by Anyone on Instagram. I'll attach her too. Thank you, Miriam. We'll see you guys so very soon. Bye, guys.